begin fairly early in the morning, kind of panning down through the smokestacks as the morning light cuts down into the lower district, specifically the Shard, where our two detectives are active, and also where their new office is. The two of you are standing in the main office area. It's a fairly small office. Basically, there's an outer room that's a waiting area with your secretary's desk, and then the actual inner office, which has a small walk-in to kind of a room with like a fireplace, a window looking out over the cobblestone below, a large oak desk that had come with it, which was great because the two of you didn't have a desk, and kind of, I'll let you guys describe kind of how you would have set it up, who's probably the one who usually actually sits at the desk, that kind of thing. But currently it's just the two of you. I believe you're waiting on your secretary to bring you your teas. You've both just arrived, and of course, Luna.
I was gonna say, is this kind of one of those offices where we kind of live here, like above it?
It is. This office is on the second floor. One of you lives on the third floor, and one of you lives on the first floor.
Gotcha. Cool.
Why is it designed that way? Nobody knows.
Because it just made the most practical sense, obviously.
But it was the cheapest office in this area of the Shard.
That is, of course, what we were after.
Okay. Pretty much, yeah. We're not that well established detectives yet.
You guys have had a few cases. We're a little bit later in the year than we were in the first case. So I want the two of you to update your inventories. Each of you has 500 decodes. Plus whatever you already had. But yes, the majority of your work savings have gone into this office.
I don't actually remember how many decodes I had before. So I'll just say I have 500.
Before.
Kibble costs a lot.
Kibble does cost a lot. And, you know, I put in a bunch of upgrade. I got a pet sanctuary and put in a couple of upgrades. So that
you're going to describe your pet sanctuary, too.
Yeah.
So anyways, what's in the office? How would you guys dress it as best you could?
I don't really know that Bernard would really do too much decorating other than maybe bringing in, like, a plant. Like a little tree or something into the office and kind of putting it in the corner.
Okay.
Philium has very obviously, plainly out in the open, like a little, what are they called? Mat that you put your cups on so you don't get stains on your desk. Like a little coaster, that's the word. Yeah, he's got a little wooden coaster, but it's got a ledge on it, so it can like store things within without spilling out if you like pick it up and toss it a little bit. But inside of that, there's a white powder, right? But it's in the outline of the borders of Aethergarde City. It's just like making that is the line that it's making, and there's a piece of glass on top of that, closing it up. And there's a little etching in the glass in case of emergency on it.
Nice.
But that's where he keeps his drinks.
You guys also got like a cheap rug.
I also, what was his name? Mickey let us keep the painting. That is hanging in the office as well.
I forgot Mickey lets you keep the painting. Wow.
Don't forget, Shrike didn't take back his floating disc thing.
One day, like a night, one morning, I apologize, 2 or 3 days after the last case ended, Philium, you woke up and the disc was gone.
makes sense.
Damn. I
Just
tried,
took
Chris.
it away.
I don't think we should. I don't think Ant has actually watched the first case, and I think
I haven't
should,
yet.
And I think we should just not tell him who Shrike and Nightshade are, to try to
Yeah,
force him to watch those
The characters
videos.
that you tried to have me draw as comic book characters.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Those are the same names, actually. Yeah,
Mhm.
I reuse ideas all the time.
I mean, do it.
So,
If they're good ideas, use them.
either way, yeah, you got a cheap rug that you threw across the ground. You did make sure it wasn't made out of any like animal hide. Just because, like, why do that? There's also like a big, like, kind of like pillow thing that's tossed in one of the corners. That's usually what Luna lays on. She's currently sleeping. She's on her side and her feet are kicking.
Yeah, so I think just other than the coaster and the painting, there's just random papers strewn about. That
Sure, it's a little messy.
Philium gets very upset if anybody moves the papers from exactly where they are, though.
Yeah, I get it. Organized chaos. That's how my house is set up.
process. Just nobody knows what it is.
As the name is my process. It's the place it got put down first is its new home. Permanent home.
As you're the one who's just entered, Bernard, you do feel like it's a little bit stuffy in here.
Philly,
Nobody's opened the windows in a while.
You should not work in this. I'm gonna go open up the window.
You open up the window, you let in this morning light, and there's this brief moment where you... And then you see across the way another window open and someone dump their shit bucket out directly onto a passerby. And it starts like this huge argument in the street, basically, immediately just like eliminating all of that peace that came with the opening.
And that is why we keep the window closed.
But it feels so much nicer in here.
I'll give it about a minute for that smell to get up here.
Yeah, that's fair. I'll close the window again.
You close it. As he's closing it, you do indeed feel like the wind in the air is shifting to blow slightly in the direction of the window, Philium, just as you were expecting it to. And as you close that window, in bustles Mrs. Honeyworth. She's a woman, stately, proud but kind. She's lived in the Shard her whole life. She's recently widowed. That much you know of her personal life. You also know that she's got a couple kids that are adults now with their own families. She's like in her mid-50s. And she's kind of like holding this tray, and she kind of steps over some of the papers, and she sits the tea down, and she says, "Oh, trying to get the windows open. He likes it stuffy in here."
Yes, I was hoping we might have less stuffiness today, but our neighbor across the street decided it was the perfect time to dump their shit bucket.
Well,
It always seems to happen when you open the window.
that is why I prefer it closed. Not necessarily stuffy, though.
Well, you'll have to get some more plants then. She winks at you, Bernard. She pulls the food bowl. The food bowl off the tray that she'll bring around when she's serving breakfast for like Luna, and she sits that down, and she'll turn back around and she will immediately go into mom mode as she bends over and starts picking up papers.
Now, what
You
if
really
we said,
shouldn't
Miss
leave this
Honeyworth?
mess everywhere.
It's not a mess. It's how I work. They are where they need to be.
Well, this isn't presentable at all, and you have an appointment.
Do we? With whom?
Yes.
When did
Yes,
this happen?
Well, I let you both know of the appointment, of course, last time I saw all of you here, that was just yesterday, and then you said something about being off to somewhere and
We were very
rushed
busy
away.
yesterday, to be fair. Very busy.
A lot
yes.
did happen.
I would just. She drops the papers and she just kind of drops the one she picked up on the ground. I'll just buy you a few minutes while you make things presentable. I believe his name is a Mr. Spencer.
Spencer. Right. Okay. It's 2 minutes.
And she heads out. What would you two like to do? What would you like to do in the room? Where do you like to be in the room when somebody comes in? A possible case? How do you guys set up for that kind of thing?
You said we got one desk, right? I'm imagining we probably only got like 2 chairs, so I'd probably let Phil.
There's like 2 chairs in front of the desk and the desk chair.
Oh, okay. I guess we would probably just like sit on either half of the desk on the opposite side from the door. Right, Chris?
Yeah. I will, in this 2 minutes that I bought us, that's absolutely going to be 2 minutes, do a quick little bump of my fun stuff.
Your moon dust. We got to call it something different every session.
Yeah.
What's it called in Elder Scrolls? Your skooma.
Skooma. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. The 2 of you set up. You see a man come in. He's actually wearing a fairly nice suit for the shard. There's no patches. There's no holes. He kind of, he's kind of like loosened his shirt, and he's like dripping with some sweat, like he ran here. Hi, sorry to bother all of you. I was sitting here with something of an important message.
Very well. Sit down.
He sits down in the seat, the one that's not taken, and he... Oh, tea, would you mind if I have some of this?
By all means.
And he's gonna, like, pour himself a cup of tea and take a long drink, and then you'll see him kind of, because it's, like, hot tea, and then he'll sit it down. I'm a junior curator at, he brushes back his mustache and kind of scratches through. He's got, like, bags under his eyes. He's a healthy weight. He seems like healthy for his age. He's clearly in his mid-30s, but he definitely like has a lot of late nights. You can tell. He just like wears it on his face, just like me. He kind of brushes his hand through his face. It almost seems like kind of like a nervous tick. There's this problem, you see. One of our artifacts was stolen sometime in the night. They'd very much be interested in anyone who thinks they could aid them in recovering it.
I think the obvious question is, what is this artifact? And where exactly do you work?
I'm a junior curator at the Museum of Mythos. Here in the Shard. Oh. Somebody marked the time for Chris. Oh, here we go. He's good. I can see his video now. Chris, did I cut out for you?
Nope.
Okay. You cut out for me, so I haven't heard you reply yet.
I didn't. I was taking notes.
Okay. Your camera froze, so I thought you were gone. Yes. Well, this doesn't happen very often. It's hard to explain, but we do have some security systems and such. Nothing has been stolen in quite some time, and this particular artifact was very important. It was to be the centerpiece of the next wing of our whole museum.
And what was the artifact again?
An excellent question.
Did you actually say what it was?
He did
No,
not.
he didn't. It's colloquially it's called the Golden Idol. It's a solid gold piece of work, a fertility goddess sculpture. About yay in size, and he kind of holds up his hands like he's holding a baby. And it was taken from the southern lands, a continent away from here. Not west, far east. And it's very important to our work.
What precisely does this golden idol do?
Well, there are many different shared and opposing cultures in that region. That region is believed by many to have possibly even been the cradle of our civilization. And it has been attributed to several generations of people there. It's been said that it has a wide range of magical abilities, healing the sick with the touch of it, all of these things and more.
Are any of them able to harm people or be used for nefarious purposes? It might help narrow down who we should be looking for.
To be honest with you, I don't. Our head curator, Professor Elizabeth Shaw, she would know more about its history, but it is worth quite a bit. It is made entirely of real gold. It's probably one of the largest recovered gold objects in all of archaeology.
So they could have just been after the money.
I mean, yes, that's always possible.
That's a boring conclusion, if you ask me.
I do not disagree.
We will need to see where it was taken from. When did you say this happened?
Probably sometime last night. We've kept the scene as it is. The local authorities have been through a bit already, obviously, but we think
trust them.
Yes, to be honest, Miss Shaw was not very impressed with them. She had said, well, a rather wealthy donor has recommended you to her in the past. And
I see.
Yes, a woman, an actress.
Yes, I know who you're talking about. Please continue.
Esmeralda's mom.
I did think she mentioned having a daughter named Esmeralda. But I wasn't there. But yes, you did come recommended, and she is quite convinced she should have a keener eye look at things. We'd be ready for you whenever you are, of course.
What was our secretary's name?
Mrs. Moneyworth. Honeyworth.
I don't know. I kind of like Moneyworth now.
Yeah, that's too close to Moneypenny. And the joke was it was supposed to be a play on Moneypenny. So,
gotcha. Philly, was today the day we were gonna be trying to do interviews?
Interviews?
Yes, we did talk about wanting to add another person as we continue to grow.
I don't think we did then. Yes, today is actually perfect. The first few hours are when we will find the most information about your missing object. How's right now?
I could take you there, yes. I ran, to be honest. It's a little bit of a hike. You guys don't have a carriage. You can rent a carriage. Like, you can hail a cab.
And just walk.
Yeah, you can just walk. Luna probably hates the carriage anyway.
Yeah.
Well, Lead the way. Not that I don't know how to get to the museum, but I'm sure you'll take us in the back way, right?
Well, I was just yes, just follow me, and he'll walk out the door. Luna sits up in the bed.
Come, Luna. We got another case.
She climbs out of the bed and trots along after you.
I put my special coaster into the desk drawer and then follow.
Okay. As all of you exit to the street, you take a left. And just quickly to clarify and canonize, you had talked about doing some interviews today. You hadn't had anybody biting, though. Like, you literally...
Philium just doesn't want to do it.
Okay. He just doesn't want to add another person, basically?
He just doesn't want to interview anybody. He doesn't want to do it.
Okay.
Mhm.
That's why he's pretending that he doesn't know anything.
Okay, got it. Well, just so everyone's on the same page. But as you guys are walking down the street, he kind of leads you in a long curve down the road, and it is pretty far. You've walked a few blocks already as you pass the harbor side of the Shard, and you do see. Sorry, double checking. You do see there's several bars down here. You guys have been to some of them before. You do see that there's a little bit of activity, especially for this time of day when most people are at work, at the Old Man's Saloon. And as all of you are passing this area, you see inside what looks like some unusual activity for the usually dreary saloon. Ant? Would you like to take it away? Do you need more lead in from me?
Oh. No. Okay. Oh, no. I got it. Attention. You see a stylish vest and an ascot. His most notable items are his derby hat. He's got some shiny black cowboy Algamorian boots. And some revolvers. Some twin... ivory-handled revolvers. His beard is manicured. He's got a small gray streak on the left side, and a visible scar over his left eyebrow. I take a drink from a waitress as she walks by, tossing a coin onto it. Prepare yourselves, ladies and gentlemen, for an exhibition in marksmanship that will both impress and hopefully loosen more than your purses. I, Silas Caldwell, come from across the seas of Algamore, and I brought with me more than my good looks. I brought my skill with bull and iron. For your entertainment, he flips the gun out. Matt, am I rolling on the shot?
Yeah, you are. Go ahead and roll the
all right. He
test of the
tosses.
case.
He tosses a card in the air.
This is going to be against a target number of 10.
Okay.
And you are going to roll agility and attack.
That is a 18.
Continue as you shoot the card.
Yeah. He shoots all the hearts out of 3 of hearts playing card while it's flying through the air. Then reholsters his pistol very quickly in a fancy ass fashion. He draws his pistol, again flips it back into his hand, and he aims across the entire bar. The waitress that was walking is now on the entire opposite end of the bar, and he takes aim and he fires at her prey that she's holding.
All right, the target number for this one.
So I'm gonna burn my aimed shot skill set.
Does that make it easy? Oh man.
Yeah, I think he froze. He's been cutting in and out for a few minutes.
What an awesome time for the internet to just be struggling.
Go give me my target.
Your target number is going to be 15. Just to let you know, you're cutting in and out a lot.
That makes me get an additional +4 to my roll.
Oh, I think you just dropped from the game. All right. It's first 15.
All right. That is 7 plus 8. That's a 15.
Oh,
plus
nice.
4 plus. Actually, that's a 16. All right.
Well, but didn't you make it easy?
Glass cheddars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made it easy.
So then that would have made it.
Yeah. So I have a +9 on the shot anyway. So if it was already easy, I should have just made it, right?
Yeah, you made it.
Mm-hmm. All right. The girl realizes there's a playing card that I dropped inside one of the beer mugs, and she yells, "He shot the heart out of an ace!" from across the bar, and he pulls his hat off. Tips and drinks are appreciated.
Go ahead and roll one more test for me. This one is going to be charisma and performance. Philium, as he's doing this, I'd like you to roll a wits study test for me.
That's a 6.
Is this to spot a hidden object, creature, or door?
No, this is more to like read the situation.
For sure.
Nice try though.
Oh, it's easy if I'm trying to spot one.
Yes. Yeah.
Wits and study. Should be 10. Okay.
I think Anne's having connection
Not
issues.
good. 5.
What did you get total, Chris? I apologize.
No, only a 5.
Okay. Well, wow. It's not very high for you.
No, I rolled a 1 and a 2 on the dice.
Yeah, that's rough.
Ouch.
So, here's what you can tell. You can tell that while pretty thoroughly planned out, he doesn't do this a lot. He's clearly not like actually a performer, but maybe he's just in a situation where this is the way he's found to make money. The other thing that's just clear to both of you is he's a very good shot. Like this would be very difficult to do. To like these shots are pretty crazy. It's much easier to shoot a person than it is to do any of the stuff he's doing right now, basically. Additionally, you would notice that there is some wear and tear, but these pistols they're nice pistols. They're basically like pearl-handled revolvers.
Now, adding a marksman could be very beneficial. If anybody tries to shoot us, we're kind of stuck just running in, you know?
That's very true.
And I feel like we've been getting shot at more lately.
We have, haven't we? Well, if we are going to get this mystery man on our team, it's probably better to grab him sooner rather than later, you know, before the establishment charges him for all the bullet holes in the building, no?
Yes, I mean, he's probably anxious to get out of there after that.
You would notice that you got a 5 on the performance test I made you do.
Mm-hmm.
You would notice that
that
for the most part, the people in here are just like, meh. And he only ends up making like what would appear to be like a couple Dakotas. Like he covered his bullets basically.
What I dropped on the tray for the waitress as I dropped the card on it?
Yeah.
Rookie.
Well, he doesn't seem to be making much money doing this.
Well, perhaps
I sit down and just take a couple of
we
whiskey
can entice
shots.
him with our honestly probably meager paycheck.
But steadily meager paycheck.
Hopefully
Ish.
steady.
Yeah, steadily-ish paycheck.
Steadily hopeful. Let's go with that.
You know, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if you've forgotten I'm standing here, but I'm rapidly losing confidence.
I have not forgotten. But wouldn't you enjoy seeing that man shoot?
I mean, hire him if you wish. I'm sure we could use, well, if it is like some kind of criminal organization or something, we could use somebody, but we should get going. Yes? You did tell me earlier that the crime scene is it's most important to get there at as fresh a time as possible, or something along those lines.
Well, that is true. We are in need of another person. So you
guys go ahead and get started. I will grab him.
Oh, well, that works. Thank you, Bernard. Please, continue on.
Yes, right this way. And he continues to lead you away. Bernard, after you've watched them go down half a block, you realize you're not 100% sure you know where the Museum of Mythos is.
That's okay. Luna also has the track command, so I can just always tell her to track Philium.
Oh, true. Yeah, she can just follow his scent there. That's hilarious. All right, what do you want to do? We're going to stay with you.
I'm going to go up to the gunslinger and just tap on his shoulder. Hello.
All right. I'm looking very disappointed into my hat.
Oh, hello there.
And he reaches out his hand.
Silas Caldwell, at your service.
Bernard Pennywhistle. That was some very impressive shooting.
Charmed, I'm sure.
Thank you. He flips the gun out real quick.
Make much money off of that. Would you be interested in helping us out for a day? Or more?
What would that entail?
Well, right now we're investigating a theft at the Museum of Mythos.
As you can see, these people are not. As you can see, the people here are not very interested in sharpshooting, so I could use some means in which to make some funds, pay my rent.
Well, let's call this a trial period, and if you do well, we can talk about a more permanent one. And I'll take out 5 Dakotas and put them in his hand.
Oh, he'll take him, slide him into his coin pouch.
At your service. Lead the way, please.
And I'll turn to Luna. Would you please track Philium?
Yes. And then she trots off. Just so you understand, you walked outside. You walked outside with him, and he turned and he growled and snapped at the wolf, and the wolf growled and snapped back at him, and then walked off.
Bernard, did you just talk to your dog?
Yes. That's all I'm going to say, and then I'm just going to start following Luna.
He looks down at this coin pouch and he goes,
"Gotta do what you gotta do."
I'm gonna reload my guns as I'm walking.
Oh, should I describe my character?
You should describe what Bernard looks like.
Okay, so Bernard is he's got brown hair, brown beard. He looks generally a little wild, unkempt. He's got green eyes. He's probably at this point, you can almost sense some beastly features, not anything obvious, but I've kind of probably adopted some at this point with shape changing and all of the permanent things I got from shape changing. And then he's just kind of got a tan suit on. His hair hangs probably to his shoulders. His beard's probably down a little bit around the same place too.
A very strange fellow he is.
Yeah, definitely feel more at ease in nature than I do in a city.
Our little urban druid.
Mm-hmm.
As we cut ahead down the cobblestone, we see Mr. Spencer, the the junior curator. He's kind of leading you up these steps. And they lead to a side door into the museum. Since you said that you wanted to get in a back way, Philium, or whatever you said. You know what you said, right?
I said he probably knows a back way in.
This is one of the worker entrances. We can use it to get to the scene quicker, anyways. If you want a little inside, if how it works or whatever. As he walks up to it,
pretty much irrelevant. I'm just looking to get to the crime scene.
As he moves up to it, go ahead and make another wits study test. This one gets a target number of 12.
Uh, 16.
Okay. So, as he's moving up to this, and you see him reach down for his key and then lift it up to the side door, you would kind of look back. You would see a connecting alley across the street that kind of runs behind the bakery. It looks like it dead ends, but it's actually like a high wall that looks like based upon your predictions, you think somebody could probably like scale it and land in another dead end alley on the other side of it. So it's not really a dead end; it's like an alley with a closed arch, basically. And but it'd have to be somebody who's pretty good at climbing because it's pretty tall and pretty sheer. But then, as you look back out of that alley towards this side door, and you look as he's actually putting the key in, you would notice that there are scratch marks and all over the keyhole on this doorknob.
Does he seem to have a hard time getting the key in the lock?
No. He basically just puts it in there and turns it.
For sure. I will lock that away.
Yeah, it's just this way. You see some covered displays. He kind of basically leading you into a hallway behind one of the display wings of the first floor. And he actually takes you through the hallway. He doesn't even stop at the first couple wings. And then you would see several lights, a fair amount of bright light coming out of one of the far passages. And he leads you into a large wing of several glassed displays. It looks like this collection area was for some kind of like cultural exchange, where several things were being exchanged from one museum to another, and this is a collection of ancient archaeology from one of the first empires of the Southlands. And the Southlands is a collective area on a continent to the east of here. People don't really publicly know a ton about it, but like at this point in time, people are starting to learn a lot more about like the basic names of other places on other continents and that kind of thing. And you can see standing near one of the center displays, completely shattered and broken away, is a woman. She's fairly young. Looks like she's probably in her mid-20s. And she's just like looking over this destroyed display that's been gutted. There's artifacts, like broken artifacts, strewn across the ground in some other areas of this chamber, and it's just like disgust on her face. This is Professor Elizabeth Shaw. She turns and looks back. Oh, Spencer, you got back fast. That's good. Where are my manners? Elizabeth. And she'll hold out a hand to you.
William Howell. Nice to meet you.
Yes.
Yes, excuse me for just one moment. Mr. Spencer, might you be on the lookout for my companion? On his arrival, show him into us. If you would.
Yes, I'll head back out to the street.
Thank you.
And he'll head back out there.
So, Miss Shaw. I hear you've had some nasty business going on this morning.
Well, late last night, early this morning. Who knows? We don't have an overnight staff member. But I'm usually the first one in, and, well, you see what I've come into. Needless to say, my fertility goddess has been stolen. Well, not mine, but you know what I mean. I'm responsible for it right now, and they are not going to like the letter I'm going to send them about this.
Well, let's see what we can do about getting that back for you.
As you start to we'll get to how you want to do your thing and work your crime scene, but you would hear that side door opening. Oh, they're just right over this way, and less than a minute later, Spencer's back through the door, and he's leading Luna, followed by Bernard and the gunslinger.
Have you learned anything yet, Philium?
I quite literally just got here. Good on the timing. I see he didn't take much convincing.
I can be very convincing when I want to be.
Silas Caldwell
snorts.
Yeah. I introduce myself. Silas Caldwell. Man, I take my hat off to the lady. Your feral friend has hired me as a gun for you.
In case we need one.
Philium, you're just not going to introduce yourself.
Nope.
I know.
Will you at least describe yourself for him?
Yeah. Philium is... he's probably not shaved for a few days, so he's got a bit of scruff going on. Looks like he's been up all night. But he's tried to keep up appearance at least a little bit. The clothes are clean at least, if not all the way buttoned up, just most of the way buttoned up. But at least looks halfway presentable.
Silas is a bit of a drinker. Matt, can I tell that he's just going hard?
You can't tell what it is, but you can definitely tell that there's probably something.
Okay. Well, at least I was paid in advance.
I'm getting a lot of confidence into your team, Mr. Howell.
We may be new. Well, this one may be new. But if you've seen our last cases, a hired gun would have been quite helpful.
A good friend's mother was quite impressed with your work. She said you basically saved her life.
We did do
does
that,
happen
yes.
on occasion. So, hopefully we can save your fertility goddess. Now, if
Yes, and now you've got the gun. Oh, yes, I apologize.
Is this how you found it?
Yes, I've tried to leave everything as it is. I can't promise that nothing wasn't moved around by those dullards, but...
Well, nonetheless, I'll take in what I can.
And as you step forward, she will lean over and she'll say, Algamorian, I recognize your accent. Oh, I think you might be me.
Ma'am? Yeah, I'm in myself. Ma'am, what is your name?
Elizabeth Shaw, it's nice to meet you.
Pleasure.
I like that.
Thank you. So do I.
Oh, man. He's like KFC Southern. It's fantastic.
I mean, come on.
It's really good.
Algamorian is...
I like it. All right. So, Philium, as you step into the scene, how do you do your thing? How do you Sherlock this?
Philium just starts... You said it was like a handful of cases were broken into?
Yes.
Shattered glass gems? Are they against the wall, or are they freestanding in the center of the room?
So, there's a few that are in a central display position, all back to back, and several of those are broken with scattered things. And there's also some up against the wall to the east side of the wing that are broken. Most everything else was left untouched. And you can tell immediately, without even making a test, which one the idol came from, because you can see like the information sign for the golden idol, and you can also see that it's the only one that's artifact. I will tell you this, it's the only one that's artifact appears to still be missing. When you look around and you count everything on the ground, it matches the number of the displays minus the golden idol.
Gotcha. I think Philium would just like put a hand up on his chin and just start pacing in a circle, looking at everything that he can, making sure that, like, a nice couple circles around that center display, and then just standing and looking at the ones that are against the wall that were broken into.
Okay.
Like he's there just at the museum, like he's just looking at the displays as if there's no issue.
Go ahead and make a wisdom study test for me. What were the pings for the detective? It was hidden doors.
It's easy if I'm attempting to spot hidden object, creature, or door.
Okay. I'm going to give you that easy. So the target number is going to go... The highest target number on this test is 15. That's going to go down to a 12.
Okay.
What are the two of you doing as he gets to work? Luna lays down.
Yeah, I would probably start talking to the Shah about... Like, do you want me to actually start role-playing it now, or are we going to finish with Chris? But I'd essentially just be asking her about the goddess idol.
Okay. So you walk up to her to interview... Oh, no, Chris, no.
I have a thing
Did you
for
get
it. It's fine.
Oh, yeah, okay. And what do you do? New guy? Oh.
You're mute.
I think.
I'm gonna start walking around, and I'm hopefully using my criminal background to see how they might have broken in or got to them. And that
as you walk by Luna, she rolls on her back and shows you her tummy.
He gives her a quick scratch before moving over to the door.
She rolls back up. She seems to more or less approve of him. Scratch. That's what matters.
Even if it wasn't for long enough.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Can I get the easy on this if I try to put myself in the place of a criminal that would
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Wisdom study. Chris, what did you end up getting after your reroll?
I haven't rerolled yet.
Okay.
I was waiting for that.
Go ahead and reroll. I'm watching.
Yeah,
I'm watching you, so don't try to cheat.
Using correct process, so I get to reroll.
Okay.
I got a 9 on mine.
Well, it's better. It's a 8.
Okay. So, Ant, you notice that there are some, it looks like scuff marks on the floor leading... You're actually able to follow them more or less all the way from the side door you entered to this hall when you backtrack.
Okay.
It doesn't look like something was being dragged. It's more like heavy boots. Additionally, once you reach the outside of the door, you also notice that there's a lot of like scratches and marks around the keyhole of the doorknob.
Okay. Would that give me the impression that it was someone picked the lock?
It's either someone picked the lock or there's somebody who uses the key that's very bad at using it and like hits it like a bunch of times. It's one of those two things.
Okay.
Really quick, as you're doing that, Philium, there's a couple things you notice. One, the artifact directly next to this golden idol is a rose. Well, it's a rose that's stem and leaves are made of silver, and the petals of the flower are shaped dragon's glass. It appears quite exotic. What you know of dragon's glass is that the worth of these dragon glass petals, as far as like being a jewel, is much more collectively than what this golden idol would have been worth, even if it is one of the biggest pieces of solid gold around. Okay. Also, you notice that near the side displays, somebody, it looks like, has dropped a napkin that's been partially used, or a handkerchief that's been used quite a bit. You can tell there's like snot stains and stuff, and also just like grease, like finger marks. But in the corner of this handkerchief is an embroidery that says "Looking Glass Hotel."
I imagine I would have like leather gloves or a little tweezer thing.
Yeah, you can have whatever detective stuff you want to have.
Yeah, I'll just put on one glove on one of my hands, and I'll pick up the handkerchief and see that embroidery. Question, Miss Shaw.
Yes.
Well, I'm sure you understand the value of the items you have in here. In your opinion, is there any reason to steal the idol over this dragon glass?
I mean...
And why not take both if you were in here?
She kind of looks around. They broke the dragon glass. Maybe they thought it wouldn't be worth anything if it was...
Oh, well, we could go with that they were just not cultured enough to realize the value, even if it is a broken figure.
Well, yes, monetarily, the dragon's glass, I'm sure, would be worth a small fortune. But archaeologically, history, this golden idol is said to have been first sculpted by some of the first civilizations. It is a unique and rare piece.
Your assistant also mentioned it had certain magical capabilities.
Well, I mean, we haven't proven anything. Some people here tend to believe those kinds of things more freely than others. If you're asking me, I need evidence. But yes, there are stories of it healing the sick and raising the dead, creating instances of, miracle births.
Are there any less well-received magic benefits? Any that can be used against people instead of for people?
Not that I'm aware. I could look through everything again. But it's really mostly spoken of in a positive tone as far as the history I have studied so far. But if you're telling me that digging deeper into the books would help us with this situation,
Very well.
I have quite a few curators I could put on it.
Yes, any information you can tell us about it would be quite helpful. It could narrow down who might be taking it, because clearly it was not for its monetary value.
She looks around again. I'll gather some people up, and she'll rush off. Around this point, you've come back in from tracking back the boot prints and stuff.
Pardon me. He stops and he scratches Luna again. Bernard. And I did not get your name. I did find some boot prints here. Let me draw your attention to them. and he shows them the boot prints, the scuff marks that he sees.
And to think, we just saw you shooting, making shots.
Might prove
Trick
more
shot.
useful in ways other than just shooting at the people shooting at us.
I have quite an elaborate background.
It's quite a good find.
He's a fucking criminal. Luna says that to you.
I look way too long at the dragon shards in the case, and then yes,
Beautiful, aren't they?
but they're quite gorgeous.
I'll say back to Luna, well, that's great. We're going to have the detective, the criminal, and the pets.
The wolves.
The wolves. And then I'll turn back to Philium. So, of everything she said so far, my biggest concern would be the raising of the dead. If it creates mindless undead that can be controlled, somebody could be trying to make a power play using undead soldiers.
That is quite alarming.
Well, I like to imagine that it's somebody trying to save a sick loved one. Seems like a better outcome, in my opinion.
That was the other possibility. Though I feel like in that case, they could have asked or brought them
Or a
here.
rival museum. Who's to say they didn't ask?
That's fair. I guess we should ask her if there was anybody who was requesting permission to use the idol.
Silas, at around this time and listening to their conversation, you realize that he was being serious about the zombies thing.
Gentlemen, may I ask again, this raising of the dead is a normalcy here in this
Normal.
side of the pond?
Normal, I'd say not. Not normal at all. If this thing can do it,
You-
then perhaps it...
You don't seem to be alarmed by people being raised from the dead.
Well, I
Well,
didn't
I
see anybody
did say
do so.
that was the most concerning possibility.
That's quite frightening to me too, sir.
But there's no point in panicking yet.
I don't quite understand the magic things myself, but if Bernard says it's possible, then I would tend to agree with him.
He does appear to talk to his dog, though.
Yes.
I'm not a dog, I'm a wolf. Tell him
Does
I'm
it
a
just
wolf.
Growl at me.
She would appreciate if you called her by the proper species, which would be a wolf.
My apologies, ma'am wolf.
That's better.
He looks over to Philion and he goes, I did not get your name.
That is because I have not given it. Not to you, anyway.
He just turns around again and starts investigating the scuff marks. This guy's a fucking dick.
As you turn back around, you would catch Luna, and it appears to you that she is laughing. You've never seen a wolf laugh before, but
He smiles at the dog and he's like, okay, this dog may have a little bit more to it than this wolf may have a little bit more to it than a standard wolf.
I'll let you make one more pass at the room while you're waiting for her to get back. Philium, if you'd like.
Yeah.
William, did I not see you pick something up?
All things in good time. I think it's our next visit.
And I'll also let you make one more pass at the room if you'd like.
Oh, I was more thinking maybe you could let Luna take a sniff at it and see if she recognizes the smells from any of the people that are already here, to see if it's even worth pursuing.
Quite right. Miss Luna, if you would. I'll hold it out for Brendan to take. Or for Luna to just sniff from me.
She'll sniff it, and then she'll basically sniff it, and then she'll turn and she'll just kind of like leave the room and start sniffing around places in the museum.
I'd probably follow her because I'm not very much use in this room of
Okay.
looking for little clues.
Do you get down on your hands and knees and start sniffing things with her?
No, I don't go that far. I didn't take that
You're like one of
permanent
those
upgrade yet.
You're like one of those TikTok girls that acts like they're a dog.
Eventually, Matt, I'm planning on getting all of the permanent perks, which sniffing would be one of them.
You know what? You'd make more money than we do doing this, so.
Yes, damn straight, man.
True.
More power to him.
Matt, can I, as I stare at the dragon shards again and look at where it was stolen and put myself in the place of a criminal that we're breaking into it, can I survey that area a little bit more and give it another roll? Alright.
I'd be looking more closely at the.
That's a double 6, bro. 12.
So what's the total?
12.
I got a 16 for million.
Okay.
Show off.
You notice when you look up, or when you're studying the chamber, you eventually are like looking up and peering through the glass from the roof in like the sun. I can't remember what those, like the sun windows that are bringing in the natural light to the center of the chamber, Ant. And you would notice that there's actually some cracks in the glass, and it looks like the hatch door to fold back the window is actually partially ajar.
Ah, nice. Gentlemen, may I draw your attention to the skylight? It appears that someone may have entered there.
That's just a filling because I walked off with Luna.
Quite.
I don't know his name, so gentlemen.
Philium, as you move, to the wall displays that are broken, that are on the other side of the skylight, and you start looking through them, you find various artifacts that have been manhandled and broken in different places. It does look like some of them might have missing pieces, but no like whole artifacts have been taken. And additionally, you notice that off to the side, there is what looks like a little business card, and some torn strips of leather. Like somebody tore like their wallet, and the card fell out. It's for Rich Richard's barbershop, and it has 3 out of 5 holes punched to earn a free haircut.
If you're not going to use that, I would like to.
This friend is evidence. Perhaps after we're done investigating.
Cutting down the hall, you would see some of the junior curators in one of the side rooms pulling these just like epic sized tome books off these shelves. She kind of sniffs around in that room. Several people are like, what is this? Like jumping out of their seats basically when a wolf walks in the room. But when you walk in after her and do your thing, they kind of like chill out and just kind of like side eye the two of you. She's sniffing around the room. Professor Shock, she kind of like keeps them in line for you. This is totally normal. Just let them do their work.
While I'm in the room, I want to make sure I make a point of talking to Luna and going, so, have you found anything yet?
I sense that scent. It's probably somebody who works here, but that doesn't mean they're not involved.
That is very true.
She leads you around the corner, out of the other side of the room, back into the hall through it's kind of like a room that's got 2 arches that lead into it from on either side. And you're back out in that main hall, and she looks down to the left, and you see what looks like a guy who's like a maintenance guy who does fixes. He's in like coveralls, and he's like covered in grease, and he's like coming down with a lighting fixture, and like he sits it down on the ground, and he takes a deep breath, and he looks up, and Luna is like hard pointing at this guy like a pointer does. It's his.
Ah, thank you, Luna. Very well done. I'll reach down and give her, like, some scratches behind the head. I imagine I probably carry, like, some dried treats around with me, too. I'll give her one of those.
As you look at him, you would notice he's pretty burly. He's only like he's 6 feet tall. He's pretty burly. Like he takes good care of himself, probably because he has to do a lot of heavy lifting for work. He also probably doesn't make enough money to get a lot of like rich and fat food in his diet, so he's pretty lean. He looks like he's started to grow out some stubble recently, but for a guy that's like does this job, he's got like a pretty fresh, well-kept hair, and he kind of just eyes the two of you. And did you need something? Are you supposed to be back here?
Yes, we're actually investigating the break-in, but I was pitying you honestly at the mess you have to clean up in there. That just seems like it would be dreadful.
That's great. I'm glad I came into work to be pitied today. He's going to reach down and he's going to pick up the light fixture. Good luck with your investigation. He's going to turn and walk away.
Thank you. What was your name again, sir?
Frank.
Frank. Thank you very much, Frank.
Yeah.
I hope it's easier to clean than it looks.
Oh my god, I'm trying to walk away. Stop talking to me. He keeps walking.
I'll walk back into the room.
He wasn't very pleasant. I kind of liked him.
Well, we'll see if he's involved in this. We might run into him again soon.
Ah, yes, maybe we'll chase him down. Bite him on the ass. I love it when they jump after I do that.
It is very amusing to watch.
Arrgh.
You could probably charge people
She's like
money.
smiling at you. I probably could.
I'll walk back to the two of them. Well, I found the owner of the handkerchief. It is the maintenance man here. His name is Frank. He was a very unpleasant individual. Though it could have had something to do with me telling him that I didn't envy his job of having to clean up this mess.
I'll just shrug it. Where was he?
Was Frank missing a Baba's card?
No, but well, I don't know if he was missing a barber's card, but he did have a very... It seemed like he very recently had a haircut.
He'll point to the card that Billion's probably still holding.
Well, there's now two things that have linked him, potentially. One for sure, possibly two.
Well, should go find him really quick. Where was he? He's
Oh.
down this way.
Yes.
Just follow me.
Luna can lead you.
She turns back
Lead us.
around and starts walking out before you even say anything.
Thank you, Luna.
Oh, clever girl. He'll follow her.
You guys walk down this side passage. Luna continues to lead you in the direction he walked away, and eventually you find yourselves in a maintenance room. There's another guy there. He's wearing a similar coverall uniform, and he's working on the light fixture that Frank had taken down. Did you need something? Are you supposed to be back here?
Actually, we are. Is this the one?
Is that Frank that was
No.
talking? No, it's a different one. Where's Frank?
One what? Frank? I don't know, man. That asshole just dropped this off, told me he had to take off, and went out one of the side doors.
Well,
Seems we should go
imagine we
catch
have
up to
our
Frank.
first prime suspect. Luna, if you...
I'll look down to Luna and go, looks like you get to bite his ass after all. Lead the
This
way.
is the best part of the job. She takes off. She reaches the back door and she starts yapping for somebody to catch up.
I'm going to be sprinting after. I took the Predator speed upgrade to increase my movement speed.
Nice.
Character's gonna
How
be
are
a
you with
monster.
running? This is my least favorite.
I have a 5 for speed. I'm pretty freaking quick in cowboy boots. So he'll dart after him too. I'm gonna make
You hit the back door and you open it. As you open it, Luna growls and her eyes dart across to the cobblestone road, and you see Frank look back and then step up into a parked carriage and shove the driver out as he hits the horses and he takes off.
Well, I guess we have to take down some horses now, Luna. And you will see Bernard just morph into a wolf. and him and Luna will take after the carriage.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna try to steady my nerves as I just saw a man turn into a wolf.
Yeah.
He's gonna pull one of the pistols out and aim for one of the wheels on the carriage.
Okay. Go ahead and make an agility attack test. This is going to be against a target number of 15.
Okay, will I get my aim bonus, if I burn a point for it? I did move. I'm supposed to not move for that.
Yeah,
so,
we'll say in this situation, no.
Okay. That is a 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. No, 15. I did a 15 because I have a +1 on my pistol.
Silas, you hit your target, but your revolver is not enough to take down the spoke of one of these. Silas, you're feeling like you're going to need to commandeer your own carriage.
Okay.
So you and Philium can keep up with what's going on.
Can I quickly survey the area for?
Yeah, there's other carriages parked on the road. It's just a matter of deciding who the victim is.
Okay. What's the closest one? And where is
one that's literally like a cabbie carriage? He's leaned back. You see, he's got a newspaper in his hand. He's like not paying attention at all.
Sir, he'll drop a coin on the ground next to the carriage. You seem to have dropped something.
Make a charisma persuasion.
Okay. Is it a criminal thing since I'm actually doing a crime right now?
Yeah, yes, right? Yes, I'd say so. So it's easy. So the target number is going to go from 8 to 5.
That's a 7.
All right. He'll hop down off the carriage. Oh, thanks, fella.
And I'll just shove him to the ground and then get into the carriage.
Philium, what are you doing?
Yeah, when Philium comes up, I'm like, "Are you coming?"
I guess so.
And we're off.
Hop on the side and get into the seat next to him.
Takes off. And as the two wolves in the carriage go after this possible criminal, I think we should do a quick bio break. A chase ensues. Your guys' collective initiative is higher than his. So all of you will be going first. It will be relatively difficult for the wolves to keep up with the horses long term. You would probably know this. Just so
yes.
You know. So what's the plan?
The plan was to try to just catch up to the carriage enough to jump on like the front seat.
Okay.
Or try to
get on it.
Or
somehow.
try to scare the horses. Like
okay.
If whichever one I think would be easier.
Did my shot slow it down at all, too?
No, it did not, unfortunately.
Alright.
You just dinged its spoke. You might be able to shoot one of the wheels enough, but you need to shoot it a few times, you think. Currently, you're driving the carriage.
Yeah.
That's your move to drive the carriage. But who would like to go first out of the three of you?
Go ahead, guys.
I can go.
Okay.
Me and Luna can go. Which do I think would be easier? Just causing the horse to panic, or jumping up onto the into the carriage?
Roll a brawn athletics test for me. It is against a target number of 12. Luna is going to roll this as well.
Solid. I rolled a 2 and a 1, so I got a 3.
Based upon your ability just to try to hoof it to keep up with these horses, you're going to need to basically just try to jump on the back of the carriage somehow.
Okay.
I'll let you try to do that. It's going to be an agility athletics test.
Yeah, I'll try and jump up on.
This is your deed.
Mm-hmm.
Just so you know.
I assumed as much.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and make your agility athletics test. I think Luna is going to try to do the same thing.
Now, what's the target number?
The target number for this is 10.
10.
Don't forget about momentum.
Yeah, I'm going to use momentum because 10 is my maximum roll.
Take it down to a 7.
Yeah. I got an 8.
Oh, nice.
Momentum actually got me a pass. It's one of the few times where it's lowered it, like, from a fail to a pass.
Sweet.
For me, at least.
Okay. You leap on the back. As you do, you hear a yelp as Luna, unfortunately, gets caught up in the wheel. She takes 2 wounds of bludgeoning damage.
She does have a permanent 2 maximum wound threshold, because I have the pet food spawn.
Yes. And I think she's got 1 armor also.
And she has 2 extra sanity, too, in case that comes into play.
So she does take a wound. 1. And she is probably not going to be able to catch up to you anymore. But you're on. You can tell that looks like she's going to like get up and continue chasing, but it's just you for now, at least.
Yeah, I'm assuming I wouldn't have been able to like try and grab her.
No.
Okay.
You can't really it would have been really difficult to do it. Maybe if you had been human.
Right.
But
yeah. Makes sense.
How it goes. Sometimes you gotta do shit yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Well, that's my
carriage.
Guys.
Would you like him to go before you since you're in the passenger seat?
Yeah.
Alright.
So, driving, is that a coordination and agility?
Yes. Agility and coordination. Get it.
Oh, shoot. Where'd it go? This
is a contest.
5 and a 3, so that's 9 plus my... Nope, that's a 9.
Okay. His carriage is kind of rocking. You pull up next to his, and he sees you, and you kind of see him. You could definitely try to like ram into him a little bit, or
as long as Bernard is clear, and I'm not going to squish Bernard or Luna, then I'll just pull the carriage up right next to it, and kind of just so there's not. We can jump.
You swing around Luna. You can see she's getting up and she's taking off after all of you. And you drive up to the side, and the wheels are kind of like clashing with each other. That would actually put you, Chris, pretty close to him.
To Frank?
Yes.
Is he driving or is he in the back?
No, he's driving. And
okay.
he turns and he looks, and you can see that he's like reaching down to like grab something. He's going to try to like hit you with it because you're like up against him now.
How far apart would you say the carriages are?
I mean, as he drives you in and the wheels are clashing, you're probably like less than 5 feet away from him. You're probably like 4 feet away from him.
I'll look at him and then I'll quickly look back to my driver. Where are your guns? Are they just like holsters on your?
Yeah,
on your belt?
they're holstered. Mm-hmm.
Say, friend, would you mind? And I'm gonna grab for one of your guns.
He'll as he's riding, he'll just pull his jacket back so he can grab the holster.
I'll grab one of the guns and then hold it up to Frank. I think it would be best if you pulled over, sir.
And I think it'd be best if... Well, you left me the fuck alone! He keeps driving the horse forward.
I'm gonna take a shot at his leg. Like, I definitely don't want to kill him, but...
Yeah. Well, anytime you attack somebody in the system, you can tell me you don't want to kill him and you won't kill him. So.
Yeah,
right.
Just trying to scare him and hobble him if he jumps off the carriage.
Go ahead and roll agility and attack for me. He's going to roll a dodge. And by dodge, I do mean agility and defend. Oof, that was bad.
Nice.
Well, it's a 12 on the dice. I need to check what my bonus applies to. I think it's just...
You wing him in the leg. I think we're at his turn now.
Nice shot.
He's going to use his move. Go ahead and make an agility coordination for me, driving the carriage.
Sure.
I'm going to use momentum on this because he's initiating this one. That's better.
That is a 12.
12? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He got a 13. Funny enough. Thank God for his +1. And he kind of pulls back on the carriage and he swings around the front, putting himself back in front as he turns down this tight alley. As he turns down this tight alley, he skips off kind of like this large crevice of the broken road, and I need you, if you intend to follow him, to make another agility coordination to try to drive over that without damaging your carriage.
Sure. Can I use momentum in this situation as well?
You sure can. I'm gonna take that token back.
I'm so glad I did that because I rolled a 3.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Rerolling.
Yep, you're re-rolling.
Oh, that is a 5-6.
6? All right,
Yeah.
You managed to get through the crevice. However, he basically clears ahead of you.
Okay.
You can see now, kind of moving towards the top of the carriage, is Bernard. Bernard's wolf, kind of like praying body. But now he's like ahead of you, and you're like stuck in this tight alley.
Yep. Fillion, would you be better at driving? Because I could definitely shoot him. Maybe I hand the reins over to you. The next move, next turn, next initiative.
Technically, you can shoot and drive. You just can't do any like special things. Like that would be a deed with your driving if you want to shoot also. Okay.
Okay, that sounds good too. Then.
But like the actual moving of the vehicle is like using your move.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Then can I take a shot at it? That same wheel then?
Yeah, you can open with that. If everyone else is cool with it, I'm cool with it.
You guys
Go for it.
Seem cool with it. We're a pretty laid back group here.
Get him.
This is a very difficult shot, just to let you know, because he's got like a pretty bulky carriage between him and you right now.
That's a 14 to hit.
Okay. That does still wing his shoulder. Ah! What do you do damage-wise?
I do 3 damage with a pistol.
Oh, okay. He falls and tumbles out of the driver's seat. He smacks against the stone on the sidewall, and his body just hits the ground as his carriage just keeps going without him.
I hope I didn't kill him. But on, jump off!
Bernard, you're coming over the edge. You're in full pounce mode, and then you see just a hole get blown out of this guy's shoulder, and he goes tumbling out of the carriage. You were like about to get him. You've done all this work to get there.
You know what? I'll jump down into the driver's seat, turning back into a human, and try and bring the cart to carriage to a standstill.
No test needed, just your deed. You bring the carriage to a standstill. You are a little ways away, so you have to hop out and start jogging back.
But at least now nobody's going to get trampled.
Yes, by wild horses.
Mm-hmm.
The three of you catch up to the body. You see Luna come trotting into the alley as well. She's caught up now.
I quickly hop off and get up to him. First, assessing his health situation.
He's breathing. He's knocked out, and he probably needs somebody to tend to him.
I will start tending to his wounds as best I can. Like
at this time period,
I shot him, wrapping his shoulder.
You start wrapping him up where you can. You could absolutely make, like, if you want, you could make a wits coordination test to try to close his wounds yourself. Technically, at this time period, like, there's probably like one hospital in all of the Shard, and it's constantly backed up, and most people go to barber shops because they can't afford it anyways.
Well, good thing we know a barber now.
You do know about Rich Richard's barber shop.
As I'm walking up, I'll just go, allow me to wake him, and I'll bend down and kind of flick his forehead and cast heal to give him one wound back.
So he reaches down. What's the magical effect as you flick his forehead?
I would imagine, like, from like where my nail made contact with his head, there's kind of like a green ripple, and then it kind of just spreads into like what would be like a green light, almost flowing like liquid around his body, and then until it encases it, and then his wounds will just close up a little bit.
Yeah, so Silas, you watch him do this. He flicks this guy in the head and his wounds start to magically close.
Well, that's convenient. He reloads his gun.
Good job, man.
I may not be the detective Philium is, but I still have my uses.
That and you turned into a wolf. That's pretty impressive, my friend.
Oh. Yeah, there's that too.
Well, Frank, you with us?
Oh, God.
Well, it's close. My name is Philium.
I came all this way just to ask you if I could have this Aethergarde.
I love how Philium introduced himself to the fucking...
Yeah, exactly. Now I know his name at least.
I'm sorry. I'm a little like dazed. I'm confused.
It's probably the gunshot.
Yeah, you can have the Aethergarde.
Philium, may I have my gun back, please?
Oh yes, of course. Just hold it out for you.
Takes it back. I reload that one.
So Frank, we have a problem here. You
What's
trying to
that-
flee does not look good for you.
Me being chased by unbadged
arseholes is not looking good for you. You can't just attack people.
Well, you did rob a carriage.
You have no evidence of that.
I saw you throw the driver out.
Oh, that's just a friend of mine.
You know, just one of those casual toss your friend out of the carriage deals.
Yes, his name's Brandon. We do this all the time.
I cock my gun. Sits out. Continue your...
You could make a charisma or resolve and persuasion test there. It's going to be against a target number of 8.
Can
Resolve and persuasion? Okay.
Yep.
Can I help him?
How do you want to help him?
I would like to bend down, and as I bend down, I will grow out my claws to very long, pointed claws, and I will drag my claw, like giving him a little cut on his cheek, and say, "You hurt my wolf. You better talk before I lose my patience."
He does
sure,
like
that'll
his
make it-
wolf.
That'll make it easy.
Okay, I rolled a 9.
5. Okay.
I would not hurt his wolf again.
All right. Fine. I was strong-armed into giving some information to some thieves. I owe quite a bit of gambling debt, you see. Down at Mickey's place.
Ah, Mickey. He's a close friend, actually.
Oh, gods. Look, I don't know a ton about the operation.
Well, let's start with what you do know, then.
I told them to use the side door. I gave them a key. That night, they also wanted a man on the skylight, the sky windows. So, I was there. I showed one of them up there, but I didn't know they were going to trash everything else. They just told me they were going to take the idol.
Did you get names, Frank?
Well, I don't know who wanted it, but they were red hats for sure. They operate out of the Shard, Bethel Hill, throughout the lower districts. In this area, from what I know, well, the contact that, she strong-armed me into this, as I said. Her name is Ginny Winters.
That was saying that's the thieves' contact? Or who he spoke to?
He's saying that she's like he's trying to tell you that she's like the red hat that like got kind of like forced him into this, or allegedly forced him into cooperating.
And the red hats are
by
the
playing on his debts.
guild, essentially, right?
It's not really like a thieves guild. They're kind of like a mob gang, honestly.
Okay.
Have I heard of the Red Hats?
Yeah, you've had issues with them since you've gotten here because they also don't like foreigners very much. They're kind of anti your kind of people being in the city.
My kind of people. Okay. The Red Hat. I'll look to them and see if they get a recognition of the name as well, just so I have a base for the two of them.
Yeah, I would imagine we both easily recognize the name, given our
So we all kind of look at each other and nod. Red Hat.
Red Hat.
And Frank, where did you meet this Jenny Winters?
Sorry, I had to figure out why the music wasn't playing.
You're good.
Mood music is everything. There we go.
I said, Frank, where did you meet this Jenny Winters?
I think I might be concussed. Is that what they call it? Concussed?
Oh, it makes sense given the tumble.
She pulled me out of the back lot of the museum one day. She told me they knew about my debts. They could make them go away, but I had to help them. I started giving them, drawing them as best I could, layouts of the building and such, telling them about when the curators are there, those kinds of things. You shot me.
I did, and I will shoot you again, sir, if you do not tell us more information.
Feels like the bullet's still in there.
At this point, we should not shoot him again. He's not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere, right, Frank?
He looks
like I'd go anywhere.
You're cooperating. See? He's fine.
Your lucky feeling is here, or I'd shoot you again. We'll need more information. Who do you owe debts to, sir?
Like I said, it's a gambling debt. You said you know Mickey. You can ask him yourself.
How much of this debt do you have?
It's... Oh, you know, just a few thousand ducats. It's...
So fairly substantial.
I can feel the bullet. It's inside of me.
Yes, well, it'll probably stay there. I probably healed the wound up a little bit around it. It'll be fine.
She starts crying.
Give it a few months, you won't even notice it's there anymore.
It doesn't matter now.
Just something to remember.
You kill me. They kill me. The Red Hats kill me.
Well,
I'm
can't
dead.
anyone kill you.
Do you know where this Ginny person hangs out?
I've only ever seen her at night. I mean, the Red Hats, they control everything south of Delancey Avenue, but,
Perhaps Mickey might have some more
She's
details on
usually-
this Jenny.
she's usually hanging out at, like, the Cog and Wheel in the evening.
Yes, I am familiar with that bar.
It's one of theirs, so just know you'll be walking into their territory.
I'll give him a very, wolfish grin, and my fangs will grow out a little bit. And go, I think that sounds quite fun.
Wouldn't be the first time
I
I've
showed-
been into a den.
I take the business card and I go, I'm keeping this.
I heard you said it was yours, man.
I'll go walk up to Luna at this point and crouch down in front of her and scritch her behind the ears and then bend over and give her a kiss between the eyes and cast heal on her to heal the wound she took in the chase.
That feels better.
Yes, I'm sorry you got injured in that.
It happens.
Well, Bernard, if you would keep our new friend Frank here for a moment. Only hurt him if absolutely necessary. We have a carriage to return.
He shot me!
Yes, we heard you, Frank. We heard you. I'm gonna.
Are we returning the carriage back to the guy that I just
I'm gonna ride the carriage back to.
Okay.
Which one?
One I stole.
Yeah.
Okay. What about the one that he stole?
We can take
One of
that.
you should take that back too.
Okay.
Do you guys want
I'll-
to just take him back there in one of the carriages and all go
Yeah.
together?
Let's
Yeah,
just
that
throw him into the carriage. The larger.
Are you guys citizens arresting this guy?
Basically.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take him because he's scared of me. And then the larger carriage that he stole has a back area, and maybe Luna and Bernard can ride the back to make sure he doesn't make any weird shit. And we'll just bring both the carriages back.
Works for me.
All right. As you arrive back at the Museum of Mythos, both of the original carriage drivers are talking to the police. The constabulary constables that are there are trying to get information, and then they start shouting as the carriages come back.
I'll hop off. Do I know these particular constables?
Yes, you do. There are two constables that are often sent out together. They're kind of buffoons. Their names are Frederick and Friedrich.
Love it.
You can never quite remember which one is which, though.
Oh man.
I did this on purpose,
Yeah.
obviously,
Clearly.
because I wanted to see Ant slap his forehead.
Fucking frickin' frack, bro. All right.
Why am I not surprised to see you
Friedrich.
two involved in this?
We have their carriages
Friedrich or Frederick says.
right here.
Yeah. What about the thief?
I'm gonna
I'll
slide
put
off
my
him.
head out the window. Oh, he's in here with me,
Right here.
Friedrich.
All right. Look, see, I told you we'd get your
your carriage is back. Frederick or Friedrich turns around and says to the other people, and they kind of like look at him like confused because you guys clearly brought them back. And then Frederick or Friedrich, the other one, will turn and say, all right then, we'll be taking him with us. He's gonna have to do some talking down at the station.
Yes.
Yeah, the station.
Make sure you protect him from the Red Hats.
This one's in a bit of a trouble already with the underground, it seems.
Well, it's a good thing for you. He reaches out and he grabs him by the arm. Processing takes at least 1 full day. Come on. They start to shove him in the direction of their carriage.
I'll get out of the carriage I was in and then turn to whichever driver it was. I don't know which one was which, but I imagine Bernard would know. And go, I'm very sorry for the blood in the back seat. That was unfortunately unavoidable.
Send your bill to Frank. And I'll just point.
Yes.
Put it on his tab.
You hear a voice. So, any updates? And you see a very curious and concerned Elizabeth Shaw watching one of the, watching Frank be loaded into the back of this constable's carriage.
Yes. Miss Shaw, we had a lead in your case. Your, maintenance man?
So you're taking the case?
Indeed.
Don't you usually tell me the amount before you start work, or so I can agree to whether or not I think it's...
I looked to Bernard very seriously. Were we expecting to get paid for this one?
We expect to get paid for all of them, but that's usually Miss Honey Penny? Honey Nickel? What was her name?
Honeyworth.
Honeyworth. It's usually Miss Honeyworth's job. 750 Dakotas. I'm just throwing out a number.
That's... I was thinking something more like 50 Dakotas.
Huh. Is that a more normal amount of money, Philium?
I don't deal with money very much.
Nor do I.
For player mindset, the Shard is like living in the ghetto, and she's offered you $500.
Yeah, I'm just Philium doesn't know that much, or Bernard doesn't know that much about money. Period. Yeah. So,
Silas walks up and he's like, "That is a considerable amount of money, gentlemen.
Oh,
is it?
I'm more than willing to continue to be in your service if we agree upon this deal.
For no less than 55.
Sure.
52, and I'll give you all a free pass to come visit the museum next time it's open.
You, Miss Shaw, have a deal. As I was saying, Frank, was their way in? It seems.
An inside man. I should have suspected something. We do have... Well, we're supposed to have various security protocols.
Well, Frank seems to have broken all of them.
He did say he gave them a key, so you might want to consider changing the locks going forward.
Yes. I'll get right on that.
You have a few leads that we should start taking care of. We will report back with any more information for you.
Yes, very well. She'll reach into the bag she's carrying with her, and she'll fumble around, and she'll pull out 20 Dakotas, and she'll hand it to you, and she'll say, some of it should be up front at least. And then she'll turn and head back up the steps, and as she does, she'll say, I'm getting them right to work.
Was she saying that to us?
She was letting you guys know that she was going to get all of her junior curators reading about the artifact more.
Cool. Well,
So
how
what would you
far-
guys like to do? Well, you were told that she's usually there in the evening, and it's like
Mhm.
barely the middle of the day. So we actually reached the end of our first story beat fairly quickly, but since you know that you're going to need to try to get there this night, is there anything you guys want to do to prepare?
Do you guys think it would be worth visiting the barber shop during the day while we're waiting to go to the tavern at night?
It might be worthwhile just investigating. I did just have a question, Matt. How much ammunition do I have?
You have 10 reloads.
So 60 bullets.
Essentially, he gets 3 shots before he has to reload.
So
30.
three shooter revolver.
Wow.
I was picturing 6 shooters.
Well, they are 6 shooters, but like
Thematically, he shoots 2 at a time.
Yeah, thematically, like he uses more bullets at once than you're viewing, because otherwise, like, why wouldn't everyone just run ranged weapons, right? Because you probably don't need to reload more than once a combat if you've got 6 actual shots.
Yeah, probably not.
So he's doing a bit of like the
I'm
pistol spraying.
I'm reloading them. I was even tracking the ammo for film like shooting. So,
all right. So you guys want to go check out Rich Richards?
I think it's worth at least looking at.
We could also take a look at the cog and wheel before they are there, so we have surveilled the location.
Well, it might be nice to pop in at our good friend Mickey's as well.
That's
Verify
a great
that
idea.
part of the story, at least.
Yes, I think Mickey's and the barber shop can easily be. Well, I don't know if Mickey's that active during the day now that I think about it. The barber shop could easily be done during the day.
Oh, one of his bookies might be available for us, at least.
That's true. He should have records of it.
Where do you guys want to go first?
What's the closest location?
Rich Richards.
Well, I think the barbershop is on the way.
You guys head down the cobblestone together as the sun kind of starts to warm the bricks. The middle of the day approaching the early afternoon. You reach Rich Richards. As you step in, you see a man. He's slightly hunched, not because of any like actual like disability or anything like that. He just clearly has bad posture. Sorry. Kind of leans into his words as he talks. He's cutting the hair of this guy as he's talking to him. And so then I said to him, "Hey, you can have it when you pry it from my cold dead hands. You're talking to Rich Richard, all right? And what, you think I'm just a barber? Come on, man. I took out a guy's gallbladder last week." And the guy in the seat's he's just kind of got his eyes closed. He's nodding his head as he finishes the haircut. And then the guy stands up and he says, "All right, man, how special? Of course, for you, cousin. Any cousin of Fred's, cousin of mine. 3 to Max." The guy pays him the money and he says, "Have a good day, sir. Have a good day, sir." And then Rich Richard turns out and he looks at all of you and he says, "All right, so who's next? Maybe you, man. You look like a fucking animal."
Have I dealt with him at all before?
No, new person to each of you.
Well, in a way, you're not wrong.
Why, how are all of your characters reacting to this guy?
I'm standing behind the two of them like they're muscle.
Okay, got it.
I'm essentially just taking it in stride.
I'm actively trying to figure out what his story's about.
You're like, I need to know this NPC's backstory.
I'm looking to pick up some work, but you know.
Sorry, what'd you say?
I'm looking to pick up some other work.
Yeah. Josh, what'd your character say?
Oh, he says, "Well, you're not wrong in a way, I suppose. Anyway, do you know Frank?"
Yeah, my guy Frank. Yeah, he comes in here once a month. He likes his hair pristine. It's a pretty good cut, if I say so myself, and I do. I do say so myself, because I'm Rich Richard, you know? Now, who's up? Who's getting in the seat? You want a conversation, we can have it. But somebody's got to get in the seat.
I elbow our new guy.
Okay. I pull out the card.
You got punches on this card. I don't remember seeing you, friend.
I do. As you can see, I like it very tight on the sides. And he sits down in the chair.
Well, no. And he punches it. He sits to the side. He starts setting you up. He wraps your neck. You know, he's doing the whole thing. He's like a real professional barber. And he kind of leans you back and then stools you back a little bit. This is the first time you've ever been in a barber shop that has a seat that does that, by the way. All right. So, what do you want to know? You said you like it nice and tight on the sides. That's what you said? Nice and tight on the sides?
I did.
All right, a bit of a gunslinger. You know, I got some wax if you want to curl this up a little bit. It might go with those pearl-handled revolvers.
Please do.
He starts attending to him. What are the two of you doing? Do you want to question him?
Frank, come in often, you think? You said...
Oh, you know. Yes, I'd say so once a month. You know, I don't see guys that often. They want to spend those demarks on the ladies. They only come around every once in a while. But his due was very important to him, if I say so myself, and I do.
I see. How long would you say? A few years?
How long what, friend? I'm sorry.
How long would you say Frank has been coming by once a month?
Oh, yes, definitely a few years, definitely. And that man will talk, too, let me tell you. Sometimes I'm like, hey, man, come on. You gotta let other people speak.
He really did keep complaining about that bullet hole.
Bullet hole?
He does have quite the mouth.
You know, I told Frank once, I told him 1,000 times, somebody's gonna shoot you in your shoulder.
He always is complaining about those red hats.
He got shot.
Yes.
We just ran into him. He's in a bit of trouble, it seems.
Oh, let me guess. Gambling debt.
So
and complaints of the red hats.
That too.
Red hats? I don't know nothing about no red hats. Although I will say he was in here. He did have somebody meet him here when he got his hair cut the last time, and he was a strange fella.
It was a man.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah, kind of thin, kind of gaunt. Fairly tall guy. No name. But all black suit, real nice. Hair slicked back, definitely getting cut by a good barber, if I say so myself. But not as good as Rich Richard, you know what I'm saying.
Of course.
This is gonna look great, babe. This is gonna look great. He kind of goes down the other side.
Is he actually doing a good job?
Oh, no, yeah, he's fucking killing it. This guy is a barber. He's like, and then like as he finishes the beard and the hair, he kind of like tips you back more, and he gets out the straight razor and he starts like doing all the edging and stuff. And then he's like finishing you off by like curling up your mustache.
Perfect. All right. Amazing, my friend.
I certainly see why Frank came here so often.
I mean, I'm a man of many things, but the main thing is I'm a barber. Although I know how to take a guy's gallbladder out now, so if you got somebody that needs that, tell him to come by Rich Richards.
I will certainly keep that in mind.
At least I think it was a gallbladder.
Well, the important thing is that it's out, right?
Yes, exactly.
And they clearly didn't need it anymore. Hopefully.
Oh, what were we saying? We were talking about that tall, thin guy.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, he was a strange one for sure. It was like they were talking to each other in code.
You catch any?
You know what they...
Oh, just, you know. Well, I know for sure they said that they were going to meet again at the Cog and Wheel. Strange place to go. Hey, now that I think about it, you said some red hats were involved. Ain't that the Cog and Wheel kind of like one of their spots?
You know, I think you're right about that.
It is.
That's what
You know what? Might be a connection there. Probably check that out.
Do you remember any of the code that they said?
The code? No. Well, I remember one of them said Nightingale, and the other one said something back like
Nightingale. I don't know what that means, man. Sounds like some of that poetry stuff, like one of them beatnik bars.
Did one of them mention Shrike by any chance?
No, I didn't hear anything about no Shrike.
Nightingale was Shrike's.
Yes.
Okay.
That does mean something to you guys.
Something about they were giving them problems or something. I don't know, man.
Seems like we can run into our old friends here, Philium.
Old friends, huh? With the red hats, I don't know if you want to do that. Them some dirty fellas.
No, not with the red hats. The Nightingale fellow. Lady.
Yeah, that means something to us.
Anyway, when was this conversation, did you say?
Oh, this was a while ago. I'd say like maybe a month into Laolian.
A month into Laolian? And when is it?
He said end of the month, maybe or he said maybe into the month, end of Laolian. So that was the end of last month, basically.
Okay. How far are we into this month?
Pretty far. Like you're coming right up to the end of it.
Like
they were planning this for a while. At least a month.
Well,
I'm looking to them to see if they have recognition for what's going on, just to kind of connect.
You can tell that they're sharp. They've questioned people before, at least.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I'll just keep my mouth shut. Finish my shave.
And he swipes up one last time with the razor, and that's it, my friend. You know what? Fourth time here. Discount. 3 demarks, and I'll let you keep the wax, so you can keep that mustache shaped for yourself.
You are an artist, and he gives him the demarks, and they give him 2 for a tip.
Just tell your friends when they see your mustache where they need to go to look good, Rich Richards. Or if they need their gallbladder removed, as we discussed.
Do you remove any other organs if they need it?
Hey, man, if they need it that bad, I'll give it a shot.
Good to know.
If it's that or death, you might as well choose Rich Richards. I'm going to come up with some good slogans.
Yes, your name does seem to just roll off the tongue, Rich Richards.
Hey, what can I say? I was born for this.
Do you have anything else you wanted to ask, Philium?
I think
Silas, you've been quiet.
I think we can leave Rich to his work. Any more customers coming in? Does excellent work.
Oh, they come in every day, my friend. You sure you don't want to stay? You're looking a little ragged. I might be able to tighten that up a little bit.
Tell you what, I will be back.
Hey, you will, and I'll give you a punch card.
It's a plan.
By the way, is that a fucking wolf?
Yes, it is.
That's pretty wild.
No, she's quite tame.
Alright, just don't let her shit inside.
No, she doesn't do that.
Alright, good. Because this is Rich Richards, not Shit Richards, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Alright, good. Anyways, have a good day.
You too.
Just tip the hat and walk out.
Mm-hmm. Same.
I'll walk out last, and as I'm walking out, I'll go, oh, and by the way, I wouldn't expect him back. He'll forget about you very shortly. And then I'll just close the door and leave.
We were talking about Philium.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
How do you guys feel now about the gambling debt and stuff?
Well, we do know where we can get a good shave. But, shall we go to Mickey's?
Yeah. I'd still kind of like to get an estimate of how much gambling debt he had to know how much this golden idol was really worth. to these people.
I think he did mention 10,000 Dakotas.
I believe he said 2,000, but I've known addicts to lie.
Yes.
And he certainly seems to be addicted to gambling.
We still have some time to kill before our guest of honor would be known to be at the cog and wheel.
Well, it'd be a shame to let this mustache go unviewed. Shall we go to Mickey's?
Of course.
All right.
That gaunt man description, that didn't ring any bells with us. Like, that's not...
Not specifically.
Okay.
Oh, and before I forget, we were paid partially up front, and I'll hand 6 Dakotas to each of you.
You did meet a tall, thin, gaunt man in one scene in the first case. Do you remember that scene?
I remembered that. That's why I was asking if that kind of description would ring a bell.
You see a lot of people like that, but if you feel like your character would pick that person out of their mind, then it's okay to think that.
Okay.
He did also have slicked back hair.
Which was the same as the other guy, right?
Yes.
As we're leaving, I'll turn to Philly and go, you know, there was that gaunt man during the riots who seemed very shady. You think he's connected? He matches the description to a T.
That he does.
We never did learn any more about him.
Perhaps they'll come up again. Certainly keep our eyes out.
Agreed. Luna, do you remember that man's scent?
She cocks her head for a moment, and then she looks up at you. No.
I will never get used to that.
That is okay. I wasn't expecting you to after all this time, but it was worth the ask.
No, I should remember it. But I don't.
Do you think he's clouding your senses and a memory of him in some way?
It is possible. He is more extraordinary or strange than we realize.
Well, Luna does not remember that man's scent, though it would not normally be outside of the time frame in which she would forget a scent. It's possible our mystery man deals with the, let's just say, magical side of things. Falls more into the mythos than not.
Perhaps we could discreetly ask Mickey.
Well, Mickey does know quite a few shady people.
He's one himself.
Wow.
Well, don't let him hear you say that.
Oh, of course not.
Heading to Mickey's. You guys are let into the casino floor because you have memberships there. You got them from Mickey. Are you gonna? Do you want to? Are you like approaching an employee to see if like Mickey's free?
Yeah, I would ask. It's not. I'm not gonna bring it up as like super important, but if he's available.
Okay. He's gonna give you a strange look and say, I'll see what I can find out. In the meantime, enjoy the casino floor. And he's gonna walk away.
Thank you.
Do I have a connection to Mickey?
No.
Nope. Okay.
You've heard his name. You've heard his name. You know that he's and he is like the operator of a large criminal empire. Mickey is kind of like Al Capone. like the vibe you get from the citizens is like he's like a guy you definitely don't fuck with.
All right.
Wait till he finds out how we met Mickey.
Yeah, dude.
I was gonna see if I could get an impression of how their relationship is with Mickey.
They seem to be acting. I don't know how are you guys acting. You're almost acting like he's your buddy.
I mean, he's not our enemy.
I'm definitely speaking like he's my friend, just because Philip thinks it's cool that he'd be friends with this guy, with Mickey.
Can I roll to see if I...
Wisdom study.
Okay. That's a 9.
So you can tell that they're both at least acting like they're on friendly terms with this guy. You can't tell why this guy would be on friendly terms with either of these dudes. They must have done him a favor or something.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean,
You can ask them about it. You've got time. You're alone with them. Well, you're not alone, but you're like walking around the casino floor with them right now. You guys can also gamble if you want.
Get a read before. I might ask Bernard. I feel like Bernard might have. I didn't get to read the Filian really likes me yet. So Bernard, what's your relationship with this Mickey?
Oh, one of our first investigations ended up leading us to Mickey, and then we kind of got in a tussle with his guards, and he took a liking to us, and we did him a favor, and
well, that's
really the story.
Well, hopefully that is convenient to our cause.
He found Luna very amusing as well, as she was tearing up one of his guards.
Well, Luna is a very good girl.
I'm gonna get a drink.
I'll buy his drink.
It's 2 demarks. Luna wags her tail when you compliment
her. And I'll grab a whiskey as well.
2 demarks from you as well.
I'll just get a water.
1 demark. I'm just kidding. It's free.
10 demarks to Dakota?
Yes, to a Dakota. You get some drinks. You're having this conversation. Eventually, you see a man walk up to you. He's wearing one of the uniforms that the casino people wear, but his is clearly much nicer. He looks like he's probably a money counter or checker. Yes, Philium Howell. He's kind of looking at all of you. Yes, I was sent to respond to you. Unfortunately, Mr. Green is a bit busy at the moment. We cut back, smash cut back into a dark room somewhere deep in the casino. Mickey draws deeply from a large cigar as he looks up at a naked man hanging upside down from manacled chains at his ankles. So what? You thought you could take my girls, move them across the shard, start your own business? Me? Mickey Green? All right. Well, let's make sure everybody knows how Mickey, please, Mickey. He pulls a butcher's knife off of the table, like freshly sharpened. Let's start by taking that ding-a-ling. Cuts back out to all of you.
Oh, yes, his last name was Green. I'd forgotten that.
You can't forget Mickey Green.
So, as I was saying, he sent me. You had told the person something about how needing to know something about a debt at the casino.
Oh, yes.
He said it's fine for you to know anything basic.
Yes, merely just verifying information that we've come across. One who's been gambling with you quite a bit, it seems. We didn't get a last name. Frank? He said he owes 2,000.
He works down at the Mythos Museum.
Yes.
You came here to get a debt amount for a man named Frank.
Yes.
And you didn't get his last name.
Well, it didn't seem important at the time. You know how I'm talking.
Do you know how many men that come here named Frank owe debts?
How about one who always keeps his hair very well maintained and trimmed?
Quite well groomed.
Rather robust, gentleman.
All right. So he works at the Museum of Mythos, and he has nice hair, and his name is Frank.
I'll also run through like a description as best as I can describe to them.
He'll start like writing some stuff down. I'll see what I can do. He walks away and leaves you guys at the bar.
We probably should have gotten Frank's last name now that he mentions that.
Yeah, now that it's mentioned, it seems like that would have been important.
Notes to forget for next time.
We're going to ask for the name.
Perhaps they will tell us his last name.
Don't know why we need it at this point, though, anymore. Other than, I guess, if the Red Hats are working with multiple Franks, we'd be able to tell them which Frank.
Are we trying to learn that that he owes your Mickey the money or the Red Hat?
I'm just trying to verify what he's told us so far.
2,000 Dakotes is... Was it Dakotes or Demarks?
It was Dakotes.
2,000 Dakotes is a very steep price to pay for stealing a single artifact. But if it's even more, that would make it even more concerning. What would you estimate a solid gold object of that size would be worth? I'm looking at Silas for this because I know both me and Philium have like no concept of money.
On the black market, I suppose. Matt,
make a
roll
wisdom knowledge test. Target number's 8.
Would his thieving background help at all with it?
Yeah, is that considered I don't want that.
This wouldn't give you that easy.
All right.
But yeah, I will say we'll make it a 5.
Okay. I have no idea. Rolled a 2.
Yeah, that was rough.
Ouch.
That was the worst you could possibly roll. Alright. Yeah, he's not sure.
Well, it's worth... Well, I'd wager at least double what Frank owed. For them to have reason to steal it.
That's a good assumption.
I mean, you're...
To whoever they're selling it to.
It sounds like this was at least a 2-person job. So that's another... I mean, I don't know if they're all getting 2,000 Dakotes like Frank essentially was.
Perhaps
I'm sure the vast majority is going to whoever's at the top of the red hats.
Perhaps his cut was close to that.
The employee comes back out. Yes, we found your man. I believe his name is Frank Moore. It appears he owed, in total, with interest, 2636 all Dakotes.
And see, that's why we verify information. That's a good deal more than Frank told us.
He's trying to make himself look better.
Or he hasn't been keeping track of his interest. At this point, though, I'm sure Mickey's men will eventually just drag him in so the boss can break his kneecaps.
If
he loves breaking kneecaps.
If you have a way to get word to Mickey on behalf of myself, please let Mickey know he may be needed for more questioning. But, I don't know, give it a week or so, then he will not be needed for questioning.
I mean, if you want, I'll tell Mickey Green you asked him.
Tell him
not to kill a man, but I think
that
usually that makes him want to kill the guy more.
Tell him that I'm requesting this service, but not demanding it of him. If he feels the need to, by all means.
Alright, I'll see what I can do. Now, either gamble or get the hell out of here. Turns around, he walks away.
Oh, and if anybody comes to pay his debt, please keep at least a description of them.
I'll have my staff watch out for him.
Thank you very much.
He continues away.
Good call, Bernard.
Yes, I highly doubt the Red Hats are actually going to pay up, particularly now that Frank's in custody, but...
I think that he's incarcerated. They probably will not have any interest in him.
I highly doubt they were ever intending to pay up, but...
Doesn't seem likely.
If it were I... Never mind.
Are you going to stay and gamble? Or are you going to leave?
I will finish
I'm just going to follow them. Yeah.
I'm ready to leave whenever they are.
One big swell, the rest of my drink.
As all of you head out, the afternoon is turning into the late afternoon. Is it time to head to the Cog and Wheel? Stake the place out a little bit?
Yeah, I think that's probably how.
Okay. As you guys head back down the cobblestone with Luna in tow to the Cog and Wheel, I think that's where we'll take our first story break. Good first session, everybody.
That was fun.
You absolutely trounced my carriage chase.
That's fun.
That guy. You shot that dude in the leg. And then you shot him in the shoulder. There you go. Shot twice.
I shot his wheel, and then I shot him in the shoulder.
I thought it was beautiful. Efficient.
That was fun.
I didn't even get to get a bite in.
I'm sorry, bud.
You should have bit the guy.
Sometimes the combats in the system move real fast sometimes.
I love it.
They did.
But don't worry, you're gonna go mess with the Red Hats. You're definitely gonna bite one of those guys.
Oh, for sure. I can tell you most of our combats last time ended up with me covered in blood.
Perhaps I'll bite someone too.
Great
I doubt
session,
it'll be
everybody.
as effective, but you know.
And it's good to have you.
Thanks, guys. Fucking amazing session. Love you guys.